My name is Kiran Jeth and I welcome you all to dtantric.com's YouTube channel. In today's video, we are discussing about what is the difference between a product and a service. You must have heard these terms oftenly used in your day-to-day activities. We are all customers in our daily lives. We buy different products. We take up services from different people while we do our daily day-to-day activities. So to understand these two terms, what a product is and what a service is, we need to first understand why a company exists and what is the necessity that a company exists and what is the difference between a customer and a company. We need to understand what are the reasons why a company exists and what is the purpose or the need for a customer to understand what a product is or what a service is. So we need to first understand why a company exists in the market. Firstly, the basic core idea of marketing is to ensure that the company that is established in the given market is able to ensure that the company's name or the company's purpose is very relevant to the customer, or the customer is being aware of the existence of the company. So that is the core purpose of marketing, to ensure that the customer or a person is aware of the existence of a company in the same market. So having known that, we need to understand why the company exists. Any given company exists in the market for fulfilling the needs and wants of the customer. Any person to conduct his daily activities or daily chores have different requirements that may be falling into a variety of categories. To perform effectively or his daily activities, the customer needs to have different tools and equipments at his disposal. People to make their life easier and to conduct their lives. So the company that exists in the market understands that the person or the customer is having a requirement. So in order to satisfy this need and want of the customer, the company goes ahead to produce a product or a service that is able to fulfill the given need of the customer. So, having understood what marketing is, what is the purpose of marketing, and having understood why a company exists in the market, what is a product and what is a service. So, as already discussed, product or service is something that the company is producing or delivering to ensure that the need or any want of the customer is being satisfied. So there are some key differences why certain category of goods that are produced or given by the company are called as products, while some others are called as services. So the key differences or the differentiation on the goods, each of these items is because of the characteristics that they possess. Products, or as commonly called as goods, are tangible items. Tangible meaning these items have physical form, they have an expiry date, they comes in variety of shapes and sizes and colors, and are easily identifiable by the customers through their five senses. They can easily identify a product that is having a physical form. So such products, such items are called as products or goods. Whereas on the other hand, services are items that are sold by the company that do not have a physical form and are intangible products or intangible items. They do not have any physical shape, size, or form, and they do not have any combinations of colors. It is the experience that the company delivers to the customer that is called as a service. So, in the service, both the customer and the company are coming together in a common place, and the service delivery or the items purpose is being fulfilled either at the company's location or it could be at the customer's place. Whereas on the product side, the physical form is there. Goods or products have a physical form and it is being transferred from the company or from the seller to the buyer. The person who is requiring the item tends to buy the item. Another key area of differentiation is the possibility of the item being transferred from one person to another as far as the product is concerned. Say, for example, if you buy a product from a company, you can possess the product as long as you need, and if you don't need the product any longer, you can further go ahead and sell the item as a second hand product, as an used item. A typical example can be an automobile vehicle, say a car or any other vehicle that you have already purchased and used for a period of time. You can sell it off to a second party, second owner for a lesser price. So there is a transfer possibility. Transfer of ownership is possible as far as a product is concerned. Whereas when you take up service, the transfer of ownership is not possible. That is because earlier we discussed service is something which happens when the combination of a customer and the seller, or the buyer and the seller, comes together at a given place. So when you're trying to sell an item which has already been bought by you, or when you are trying to sell a service again, the original seller is not available in the picture. Hence, it is impossible for the buyer to sell the item or sell the service back to another person. If he needs to sell the service to a third party, the customer needs to replicate all the aspects and characteristics of the original sales transaction. For example, the place, the experience about the place, or the convenience and the comfort that the place provided, or any other aspect that added to the experientiality of the original sales, cannot be replicated in the same form. Thus, for any service, transfer of ownership is impossible. If the item needs to be sold again, it is difficult for the customer to replicate the sales experience again. Products are usually, since they have a physical form, it can be separated from the seller, it can be separated from the person who sells the item. Whereas services cannot be separated because the sales transaction is happening in association with the seller itself. Since products have physical form, they obviously come with an expiry date. They are perishable in nature. It depends upon the kind of product. If it is a food item, it has a shorter duration of expiry. There are other items which have a longer expiry date. So perishable items are usually classified into products. On the other hand, services do not have any expiry date. It is the need for the customer to get associated with the company for the enhancement of the experience, or for receiving the service experience. Again, then comes the concept of consumption of the product. For products, the lead time, or the ability for the company to produce the product or goods is longer. The lead cycle for production is longer. The company needs to work on the design of the product, the form, shape, size of the product, the marketing, packaging, and other aspects about the product. Needs to ensure that the manufactured product is being moved from the factory to the distributor to the dealer, and finally to a retail store that is nearby your location. So all these processes involves long duration. Thus, for a product, the lead time for from the production to the sales to happen is longer when compared to the service. On the other hand, service-oriented products do not have any production lead time, or don't have any long lead times before them. Services are produced as well as consumed at the same instance, because earlier we discussed both the seller and the buyer, or the customer and the company, are associated together at the same location for the transfer of the service. So we understand that the service sales transactions happen together in the presence of the buyer and the seller. Thus, we know that the production and the consumption of the service is happening simultaneously. Another difference is about the storage requirements. For a company which is selling products, need to maintain warehouses or storage locations, whereas a company which is into sales of services need to only ensure that there is a place that is available for the sales transaction of service oriented products. The place can be either a company's location, or it can be at the customer's place. Another key area of difference is about the return possibilities of the product, whereas services don't have the possibility of returns. Uh, since the physical nature is products are tangible in nature, there is a possibility of the product being returned back to the seller if the buyer is not satisfied. Whereas in case of services, once the product or the service has been sold to the customer cannot replicate the same experience and cannot return the service to the seller itself. Hence, the possibility of return does not exist as far as service-oriented products are concerned. Let us look into some of the few examples to better understand what products are and what services are. Services are something where the knowledge transfer or skill transfer or skills are being employed to fulfill the needs of the customer. Typical example are services employed by customers such as an electrician or a plumber or a doctor, somebody who is able to consult or provide his knowledge or employs his skills in fulfilling the needs. Product examples are well known to us. Anything which has a physical form, shape, and size and color are falling into the tangible category are defined as products. Typical example, as we discussed earlier, are automobile cars, where the possibility of a buyer and seller exist together. We'll try to understand what is a need and what is a want. Hope this video was useful for you to understand what is the difference between a product and a service. You may watch our other videos for similar topics, which is into management. Subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Thank you for watching.